Ella kuja ulete chacha huko kwa room. Leo natumia simu yangu yote ishe moto. Kita.
Kongo iwande neki. Semanga injire joba. Nikimya dora joba. Kongo neki taya. Taya ne banu koske. Ye ola le yo. Ola le yo. Ina ye treche so. Ina ye minyo gena. Ye ola le yo. Ola le yo.
Jitab kalanji ni mutu la imite jitab kalanji ni mutu la imite watu ngi tale jinin netako ambassador Alfred recording studio natana ba AKL moy gwet kitole tosika se jagim nyano iga se jagim nyano nyende ting site na ba ragi kwas kolo nyut natana ba so magase kwas kolo nyinde natana ba net ke missing ko tinga ngala ka panganutik chotok choba so manetak pa ishoni ngeme natana ba Finland kitunda itot notok ne mesugo moy gwet kolo inendet ko ngago nyano ibwatu kitole tosika se kumnye tosika se naona Dokas Nekesa anasema following. Utuambie tu uko pande gani, utuambie uko pande gani na unatufuata, unatusikia vizuri live ama tuongeze volume wapi. Tukikuja tu hivyo tuendelee namna hiyo.
Wanga ni Mungu tu, kemnyatenu. Wanga ni Mungu tu, kemnyatene saminyu. Wanga ni Mungu tu, kemnyatenu. Wanga ni Mungu tu, kemnyatene saminyu. Wanga ni Mungu.
Nikwambia tu leo tuko live kutoka kule, tuko na mgeni wetu anatoka kule Finland. Atatueleza yeye ni nani, azaliwa wapi na yeye ameenda huko kwa muda gani na zile zote ambayo zinapatikana kule mazuri ni gani. Tukiendelea hivyo tu niliwaambia pia tu subscribe kwa YouTube channel yetu ya KL pale YouTube. Tu subscribe, tuendelee kusubscribe pale YouTube channel ya AKL ili tuweze kupata nafasi ya kujishindia credit ya 500. Na nilisema katika AKL show tutaweza pia kupata mshindi wa credit ya Safaricom, na tunaona Safaricom imerudi kabisa na watu wanangoja. So hawa ni watu ambao walisubscribe wakatuma DM pale kwa page yetu, na tutachukua mtu mmoja kutoka kwa wale ambao wameshaingia kwa hii draw. Kama utapewa jina basi utu DM namba yako ili tuweze kukupatia nafasi yako. So tumechukua nambari ya hopefully ni wewe. Hopefully huyu itakuwa ni wewe. Mtu anaitwa Cherry Otieno ama isomeki Cherry Otieno, umejishindia shilingi 500 Safaricom courtesy of AKL. Kama unatufuatilia hapa basi utu DM namba yako ili tuweze kukutumia credit yako safi kabisa. Na kama uko hapa endelea kwenda kwa YouTube page yetu ili uweze kufuata, ili tuweze kujifunza na upate ile mashows yetu ambayo tumeweza kuyafanya hapa awali. Basi karibu sana mgeni wetu wa siku ya leo, utuambie wewe ni nani, uko nchi gani, na tuendelee. Ulienda shule wapi, ulikulia wapi ama uligrow ukikuwa wapi. Niwakumbushe tu na wasikilizaji wetu pia kwamba hii show inawaletwa kwako kwa hisani ya ya Lanson Foundation Talent for Education. Karibu sana.
Yeah, thank you very much Alfred, your Lanson Foundation.
Asante.
Kwa majina mimi naitwa Francis Kirwa.
Sana
jina ya reserve ama jina nyumbani naitwa Frango. Kwa wale watu wananifahamu. Ingawaje nimekuwa muda mrefu nikiwa ama nikiishi kwa hiyo kijiji yetu ama Chemarot, for those who knows. Yeah, mimi ni msaliwa wa location ya Tepson. And by the way, that was the first location kuwa na a female chief ama assistant chief. Yeah.
Nandi mzima.
Nandi mzima, So, there's a lot of things that have come out of that. Yeah, nilisaliwa hapo Wesugul Kokwet, my early primary. Toka hapo nikahamishwa Jemuswa. Yeah, nikasukuma huko, and then nikaama na my older brother ambaye alikuwa amehamishwa upande wa Kemeloi. For those who knows that once upon a time there was a school called Kemeloi Primary. Ilikuwa na normal day school na walikuwa na boarding as well. After that I came back and I finished my high school in Jemuswa. Sasa nimetembea kwa mashule kadhaa kabla sija graduate from high school, so at least nilikuwa na stint in Derike 2-3 years before the big strike. Kama mnajua the strike that was there a long time, around 1991. That if I remember that, it messed up a lot of my friends. Up to now, I know friends who didn't recover from that strike. It's not always nice to have a strike. And lucky enough, I left for Jemuswa 1 week before the strike, so I was able to escape.
You are that lucky.
Yeah.
So you are not part of the people who brought in the strike.
No, I wasn't got in because of that decision. Or the decision, actually, the decision belongs to my father, because he was like, hey, you have not achieved anything in Derika for all those years you've been there. So the best way is to bring you back to the village. In that way, you can turn your fortunes around. And actually, initially, I resented the idea.
Yeah.
So I was a house captain. I had privileges. I had more contacts with the administration than, and when you are in that position, you always, access a lot of information that are not, public.
Yeah.
But, all in all, I decided that, liwa liwalo, home is home. Wacha ningangane. Yeah, so after graduating 2002, 1992, that was a long time, I left for Nairobi. And you can't believe, it's a long story. There's a good friend of mine called William. He used to be a runner. The Terrers.
Yeah, I know
John, that family, Christopher Melly and his family. So he had his sons in Nairobi. And William was also a relative. They call him Tojit, in the local language. His nickname. So it's the guy actually who, convinced me to get out of the village and try, since I was an aspiring runner.
Yeah, I remember I once met you in Eldoret and you were an athlete. So you will take us through. Did you go to Finland courtesy of athletic, or are there scholarships in Finland? Quite a number of people are asking, and of course we will get to know more. But yeah, continue.
Oh yeah, definitely. But in a 1 minute introduction is that I'm a village boy from the Besonji Marat village. I went to the local schools, and here I am in Finland. I've been here for the last around 15 years or so. So it's a long story.
16 years. Watu wengine wenye wanatufollow hapa walikuwa wanazaliwa hiyo 16 years. So tukiendelea tu hivyo, thank you. Some people are saying my Swahili is bad. Actually, I had a Swahili interview last week with Lolani Kalu, and I hope watu walisikia. So quick one, Franco. I think quite a number of people know you as well. I can see people writing, say hi to Franco, and I can see my friend Emmanuel Bill Skiplakat say yung alal mouth bwana we umetimuruguru umetenga like jangi ba Swahili. So before we go, as I said earlier, you were an athlete as I knew you, and now you are in Finland. Did you go to Finland courtesy of your athletics, or that was a different venture? And of course, are there scholarships in Finland? That is quite a number of people asking as well.
Actually, I came to Finland by default. For those who speak the local dialect. After high school, I told you I went to Nairobi to hustle. So while hustling in Nairobi with William, we were not lucky enough to get like permanent employment. Sasa tukakuwa watu wa mikono, tulifanya kazi hapo KHL usiku, kazi ya mikono, tukilot flowers, pilipili na kadhalika. During the day tulikuwa tunakimbizana hapo Embakasi, hiyo area ya airport na rada. In the process tukaingia tukapata hii makampuni kama Leader Bonds kitambo, I don't know what they call it nowadays, East Africa Industries earlier. Tukakimbia kwa Post Bank, tukajaribu kuingia commercial bank, hiyo kuhustle kutafuta kazi, you are told hey, uko na what attributes ama uko na what talents ama uko na nini, so tunasema tunaweza kimbia, tunamaliza shule, living certificate peke yake ndio tulikuwa nayo kwa mkono bwana.
Bila network na connection.
Bila network na connection. So the health of the rare areas gave us the opportunity. So we hung around this place until September of 1992. In the process of kukimbia, tukajaribu kutafuta military. Unajua wakati hiyo hawakuwa wanaandika, they were not recruiting for some reason. 92, 93, they didn't recruit anybody. So we end up hanging around the military camp. Mpaka si Garrison, tukakaa hapo kidogo, nikakimbia Kahawa, nikakaa hapo Kahawa, nikapelekwa Nyahururu. But as fate is, happens, ama things happen. Usually I've been that kind of person and you got the first opportunity that comes. Siwaji majuku ama an orange which has fallen on the ground na nipande juu niende nitoe ile imeiva vizuri huko juu. So in that process nikakaa kidogo around December of 93 nikapata information ya kwamba college wanataka mtu Mosoria Teachers College, and I go through Mr. Christopher Meli actually.
Professor himself.
Very, so sisi tukiwa Chemuswa tulikuwa tunakimbia huko college kubase vijana huko akina Hosea Sanga, tunajaribu kwenda kutetemesha akina Kemboy. So there was, we were known. Unajua Chemuswa na college hiyo mbali, so we used to joke all the way.
You're talking about Kemboy, the 3,000 meters guy?
No, the steeplechase. No, I'm talking about the different Kemboy, who is a teacher at a school somewhere in Tulwet area. These are the guys who turn out to be teachers. Like Hosea Sanga, Sanga from Mosirai. Yeah. So in the process, the principal, who was quite a tough man, Mr. Sambo, called me for an interview. And he was straightforward, like, hey, if you are interested, you are welcome. So I didn't get the chance to go back to Kahawa Garrison for training anymore. So I nikapita hapo nikaambia Sambo ya kwamba hey, niko tayari naanza shule January. So 94 January I joined Mosoria Teachers College to train as a B1 teacher. Lakini sikuwaja hiyo mbio. I still had the running or the athletics spark in me, so I was still interested in pursuing it. After graduating as a teacher, I was posted to Nikon Primary in Dalat. That was October 1995. I taught for 2 years. I was a school teacher for 2 years officially. But in the process of 1997, there was an interview in St. Patrick's conducted by a professor from a university in the US called Life University. Being, a teacher and knowing Brother Column, this connection, this networking sometimes helps a lot. And there was another coach by the name of Tiren. So Tiren was an in-service teacher at Mosoria. So I got to know him since he was a primary school coach. We met, during the primary school's competitions. He was a Elgeyo Marakwet team leader and a head coach. And he was like, hey, why don't you try this option? So I went there for an interview, and good enough, I got a place to scholarship to study at Life University, School of Business or a School of Chiropractic. But I didn't ended up doing chiropractic, so I went in there for the business administration.
What is chiropractic, to be on the know? Keep us on the know.
Chiropractic is a science of healing the body without medication, adjustment, adjusting the body alignment. For example, if you have a chronic back problem, then you go in for adjustment, and they're going to use only techniques, simple techniques. They're not going, no operation is needed. Wow. So you're going to lie on your back, they're going to press you in any direction or twist in left to right, and actually it works, surprisingly.
But you saying you did pursue that, you should be the first, I bet you would be the first man in Kenya to do such.
No, the opportunities and the requirements for that, it needed time. You can't be on a running scholarship and pursue such courses, which requires a lot of studies, a lot of time spent in the library, time researching, and time perfecting the skill on how to adjust it. Because if you adjust someone wrongly, it can disable that person.
Yeah, very true.
Because we are they are doing a lot about the spinal cord. They are adjust the neck, lumbar, the lower extremities. So all these things, you need to be really, concentration should be at the highest level. So, I saw the situation and I was like, I have no chance through this. And actually, before I graduated, we had 2 Kenyans doing the same course. But after graduating from a business administration course, they were able to enroll as a chiropractor. And I think, if I'm right, we had 2 or 3 other Kenyans. In fact, there was a guy who came back and opened an office in Nairobi, but sadly he passed away a couple of years ago. So he didn't manage to really do or get into the market as such. Yeah.
Oh, no. Wow.
So that's how how this running has always been, a source of as an opportunity. I've used it to the best of my abilities. Yeah.
So talking of scholarship now, are there opportunities now in Finland for people who can come in under the scholarship, and what is the way forward if they are so? And of course, another thing is that for those people who are not in any way able to come through scholarship, what are the procedures? And of course, what is the language actually being spoken there? Is it Finnish? Is it English? And what are the possibilities of other opportunities for people who are not students?
There is actually quite a number of opportunities. What I have never really done or never really got to see is the scholarships. In Finland, they never had any scholarship because education system was free. Ukisema ukiambia mtu unasoma bure.
Yeah, I remember it used to be free.
Yeah, haikuwa na scholarships sababu ya hiyo ya kwamba you don't need scholarships to study. Mbeleni, I remember wherever I was home, I came with leaflets. I remember I was in one funeral in Mosoriot. Mtu akaniuliza kama niko na leaflets hapo around college area. Na nikampea it's iko free. We ngangana upite hiyo test, what was the ELTS. Because that was the major obstacle that people were not able to overcome. Mpaka wa leo niko na watu ambao wana regret ya kwamba they were not able to pass that exam. Ilikuwa 10,000 shillings. You go sit for it. Now you need to get a minimum to allow your papers to be processed.
Yeah, we still do that in Australia, the International English Testing System. Crazy, you fail.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, and it used to be administered in Nairobi alone. There was no other place where you could do the test.
Na hapo,
watu wengi walishindwa how do we say that, internalize ama they were not able to look at the opportunities in that test. That this is a key. Once you pass that test, it was valid for 2 years. You could use to apply to many schools as possible. And what was needed was that you get yourself a ticket if you have been admitted. Na upkeep, pesa ya upkeep was where shida ilikuwa, sababu ulikuwa unakuja kweli uko na free place to study, hakuna tuition, lakini utachilipia chakula, utachilipia mahali pa kulala. Yeah.
So it was only English. Get your ticket.
It was only English
and
nothing else.
Wow.
Nothing else. There was not asking for kuja na what physics, biology, blah blah. No, or German. Only English. That was the only thing. Lakini pichigi bwa yani of pichigi who passed that exam. They are very happy. Mi gitije bi ke jaje bunu ko sirai around wala lenje mamula na lene. Bi ke bunu wasingisho. You know, those people, they were able to do it. Kia jita 3-4 times. Guma pass on the first time and enda inajaribu tena.
Repeat.
You repeat the same things until you pass. You get the right marks. No, they were not looking at those issues. This coming here, are you qualified for this course? Meeting the criteria. If you are meeting that criteria, then the position they get applauded. What I like about Finland was transparency. Everybody who applies for that, they put the number, they award points based on your academic qualifications, and now you write an essay. It used to be like a few sentences, a paragraph, selling your point, why you want to come and study or why you want to study in that place. So they look at your qualification, what else you have attached in there, step by step, they award points.
Wow.
So when all the applicants will be accessed, they might need 20 people, and there are 1,000 applicants, and they take only 20. So if you are not among the top 20, basically you don't get a place. Yeah, that was where a lot of people didn't understand that your points, you have to have scored highly so that you stand a higher chance. You have to be in that, what they call the 5 percentile, or what we call the top 5%. To get a place. Yeah.
So, and the best way was just to repeat this English, and of course keep.
Yeah, until you are able to. But you could pass the English.
Yeah.
But then when they award the points, when they look at your academic papers and award the points, then that can drop you a little bit lower if they are not good. But if they are good, you're gonna stay up, and then you're gonna get the opportunity to study. So it was not difficult. And then what also was affecting people at our time, 10 years or so, 5 years ago, was the opportunities to work. You could come in. I know people who came in with basically nothing, just 100 euros or $100 in their pockets. And it's a struggle because you have to figure out how are you going to pay for your hostel. How are you going to, buy food? And that forces people to hustle, to start looking around for cleaning jobs. Asa unaenda una clean hapa, unapeana kaseti hapo, una connect 1 2 3 upate hiyo.
And also pesa mzuri.
Bora pesa inakuja. Lakini most of the time it affected the school work, ama the class value, ama quality academic work. Sababu umehitinya time ainget kempo saa 7 na wagemba unakimbisa kaseti. Unakuja lala saa ngapi? Unakuja saa 12 asubuhi, unalala unaingia class saa 2. Yeah, and then maybe you have to go to a cleaning place. You have to go 6 in the morning, and then you have to get out 8 o'clock, and then you have to rush straight to class. Out of class, people are running helter skelter bana. Watu wanaweka mbio kutafuta buses wakimbia kwa kasi. So your quality academic work in suffers. Inarudi chini because kiboge support, people came in without knowing that they needed this kind of support. At least 5,000 euros in account, and 4,000 euros, 3,000 euros. Lakini magle jita inyi libani ikot, chengra bini chipakot, chenchapa mituwa.
So with now with students, can they work?
Now it's 20 hours.
20 hours.
Now
And
they have changed because initially, people used to walk. You skip any big classes to walk, just like US. People walk. We as Kenyans, I don't say it's Kenyans, it's actually we as Africans. We come, when we come from a poor economic background, we are, we try that. The only reason all those people wenye unaona wakimigrate wakisema wanakufa huko kwa Mediterranean Sea wakienda Italy, all those people are economic migrants. It's the same, we are not running from any insecurity. We are just running from the economy ya kwamba we need to hustle, we need to make money. So as a Kenyan, unaona kila kitu kama I can do this ABCD, lakini the biggest obstacle that iko hapa ni lugha.
So it is
unakuja unakonga lugha
finish.
Sai ni finish bwana. Sasa unajua mtu anakuambia terpe ile gani katika kalion terpe idi kenyo kwa terpe bagalia
like terpe
oi gola le terpe bini. Initially we used to we couldn't figure it out because gele moi it means that high. Bukala je moi le jike gara gale na ra moi gale moi ningo ngonya na kanne
moi.
so we have to think like
ngaje jak piju
chantu kun chima gumwa ko tinglo ga ni je mo nyo ka gi ngala
oi
munye gele kon yon ko mene
So, of course, tumesema, allow me read some comments for people. I know quite a number of people wengine hapa wako free mode, wengine wanasema mtatupatia sabari. Economy Kenya ni mbaya. Kama huko first world ngumu na Kenya huko sasa na watu wanakula. Anyway, someone is saying Alex live from Mombasa, Korir John anasema like the beats beautiful, asante sana. Podifenja anasema live from Nakuru bwana, umefika wapi? Tunaelekea Naivasha. Blessings anasema live from Mombasa. Bora anasema bwana niko ndani kabisa, live logged in from Finland. Espo. Kuna penye inaitwa Espo ama inaitwa Espa?
Yeah, Espo. That is where we have the highest number of Wakenya.
Yeah, so someone
hata kupiga kapsagetinya kwa wingi.
Kipia anasema ambassador mara hiyo na kupata clear huku UAE. Princess Brilliant anasema niko live, beautiful, asante sana, thanks for the support Princess. Korir John anasema huku Wasingishu tuko ndani kabisa. Kimutai Malana anasema watching live from Nairobi, getting you loud and clear. Engoleva Eldoret. Caleb Lating anasema tuko ndani, salamia Frank kabisa. JB Faith Kiplima anasema hello, niko tuned in loud and clear huku Eldoret. Princess Mercy anasema following you from Gonga Jeno. Inashika Senge mkubwa na tanabuna naenda Talimba America, agoba inaenda Nandi County Kipsimo. Agola watching live from Wichita, Kansas. Thank you Ambassador Alfred Sergeant for all you're doing, the knowledge, disseminating knowledge to our people, and the Bible says that people perish for lack of knowledge. Asante sana Senge, and I hope mama wetu kule nyumbani ambaye alipata usaidizi kupitia kwako anaendelea vizuri, msalamie, anaambia tunampenda sana na we wish her the very best as she continue to recover. Muigai anasema tufanye biashara bwana, tuko ndani, utakuja hapo kwa DM. Naomi amesema tuko ndani, asante sana. Someone is asking as of now, are we still getting the scholarship? I think you umeshajibu. Priska Chepkwanya anasema this is powerful, thank you Frank for coming in to share with us. Kemboy Saina anasema Kemboy Sharon niko ndani kabisa. Alfred Koech Sergeant, huyu ni teacher ni nani wako? Cause he looks exactly like you.
Unajua unafanana na watu wengi.
Bwana. Seriously, watu wengi nikikutana na hawa
uko na so many doubles bwana. Uko na so many doubles.
I remember I once went to uko inaitwa Sugoi. So nikashuka from the main road nikiingia reserve. Mzee mwingine akasimama akaniita kwa jina, I think there is a local man alikuwa amenifananisha. He gave me lift. I was meant to pay 100 shillings. Akanipea lift na ananiuliza habari ya mzee, habari ya dada. Nikasema wako salama kabisa. Nikashuka nikaenda na sikulipa. So that is the beauty about kufanana na watu. Kevin anasema bwana muongee hii kikale hii Kiswahili na waweza sana. So tuendelee. Frank, tell us more about
yeah, so
opportunities
ga clarify on the pa in scholarships.
Yeah.
Kuya kama what Kenya changed from the original system now, free education. So they changed to this now where you have to pay tuition, which is the current system.
And how much by the way do you pay tuition?
You pay tuition around roughly between 6,500 and 10,000 euros based on the course in a year. For example, those guys who came in for the nursing, they are almost paying 7,500 euros per year. And then also every county where the school is situated, work on a different rates. Yeah, like now, you can apply for the course. They have grouped all the courses. There's a link at the end of this. I'll maybe send you the link. You can share the link, and people actually can search. You can see every course that you want to pursue. You can see the courses that are being offered in English. So you choose. You can apply for those courses based on your strengths and qualifications. Like now, we are trying to push so many people into nursing. Na tumeona kwamba watu wengi wameingia kwa nursing. Na wanaendelea kuingia because of the need ama the opportunity ya kazi iko higher. Lakini for other courses, there are so many other courses getting the same opportunities, which can allow you that once you are in the first 1 year, immediate plan like those scholarships watu wanaongea. You can get 50% scholarships. Meaning 100%.
Which is
fair that is which is fair enough, and that is based on the course you are taking. You can, and then also it depends on individual cases. Every school can offer you something based on and how you have been progressing tangu uingie kwa hiyo shule.
So of course, you say that there are some courses English and some courses being taught in Finnish.
Yeah, so for example, like courses being taught in English, most of the time wanakupatia free. It's like a scholarship.
Okay.
Lakini we are disadvantaged because you are coming in with zero knowledge of the Finnish language. Unless you have an automatic translator, while those guys are talking or teaching, you are translating 100%, so but then when it comes to writing, utaandika vipi?
Thank God nilikuja Australia. So are there opportunities for people who are not students but want to come there to work just straight?
Right now, I'm not aware of those opportunities, but there has been situations where people have come in to work. Like I said, you have to have those exceptional skills for you to come in. Or you can come in through that country if you are working somewhere else, or you are somewhere in Europe, and then you are traveling through. Then you stand a chance, and then because most of the time when they are recruiting or looking for experts or looking for opportunities or people to work, they always look. Europe is so huge now. The Europe job market is open for everyone. Sasa kila mtu anaingia. Like ukiona available positions the whole country gasisha. Yani jaglen official gasisha official. Jengi iwe itep kele jinin man mi gasinada. So it's less than 10,000 jobs the whole country. Available. And then we master the services abu in Finland. The way the system is arranged is that employment currently go services administration. That employs 74% of the whole population. Areas like industries like technology comes in there. lakini ukiona kwa industry na construction wana employ another 20-21%. Agriculture, which tunategemea huko nyumbani sana, ina employ only 4% of the population.
And we will come there because nasikia mko na matractor, so tutakuja hapo kidogo utuambie. So
iko tractor.
Someone is
iko
asking
yote,
that
utapata yote. So if you look at the statistics, like
I wanted to give you a quick one so that you combine with that one as we finalize that one. Someone is asking the situation currently with COVID and everything. Are there applications people can apply to come in, so you can finalize with your thing?
Yeah, definitely people can apply to come in. There's no what they are looking for is the vaccination, which is currently everybody has, almost every country is accessible to those vaccinations, and then negative results and all that. So you can it's actually open. What the latest thing, like the currently, which when I'm talking about currently, I'm talking about like today, what they are saying today, because they are monitoring this new variant, the Delta, which is from India, and then the South African. Yeah, so that in many African countries is a factor. So they might issue extra warnings or extra conditions if watu wanapata hiyo Kenya zaidi, because they are looking at the infection rate, how many people have tested positive on a population of 100,000. So when you base that, then it's not so easy to get people coming in from Kenya or from many African countries, unless what was on the circular, the latest circular, was that people with special interest wanasaidia. Kama athletes can apply, wakuja wakimbia if they have races. Yeah, people wenye wako na special interest kama hiyo investors wenye wanakuja kuona vitu yao ama wanakuja kunegotiate something, they can come in. Yeah, ama people wenye walikuwa na prior arrangements kabla ya COVID, so they can come in. Yeah, of course you can. They post the information up to date, so you can't get it wrong. Yes.
Come to the weather. How is the weather there? Unajua sisi kitambo nilikuwa nakimbianga, the first thing ulikuwa unaambia mtu ile ni une weather ema na talk. So how is the weather? Is it currently winter or summer? And of course how hot is it when it's winter? How cold is it? And of course talk us through about these tractors. Nasikia mko na tractors very cheap, eh? Your tractors are cheap and quite accessible.
Yeah, sure mbaya, we'll talk to that. The weather hapa sahi, we are in the summer. Yeah. We are in the summer. Yeah, now summer imeanza and tunasukuma hii summer mpaka September. Yeah, so it's light hours, itakuwa around 18 hours. Tutakuwa na jua. Hii weekend, between this coming weekend, tutakuwa na what they call midsummer. So it's a tradition where wanajoma moto kubwa, wanaakisha moto kubwa sana. Na also it's a day yenye wa Southern Finland hatutakuwa na darkness for 24 hours.
Jua, yeah, 24 hours.
Jua is I don't know, jua inasunguka tu. Inasunguka.
So kunalala mchana na usiku?
Unalala mchana na because you get used to, mwili imezoea hiyo rhythm ya kulala kama iko lights. Sasa hapa ukikuja saa 5 kama leo, ukikuja saa 5 ya usiku, saa 6 ya usiku, unasikia ndege zinaongea tu huko nje. Saa 8 ya usiku unasikia ndege bado zinaongea nje. So lakini tuko na, unajua unafunga madirisha, tuko na dark curtains yenye unatoa kabisa the light, ndio ndani we total darkness, ndio upate hiyo rhythm ya kulala vizuri. Yeah.
Wow. That is a bit.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's very, it's a very safe country, so people actually are wanaishi softly. Watu wanalala nyumba iko wazi open. Yeah, and then ukitembea hata kwa forest, because hapa iko 70% of the country is covered by trees. So uwezi ukakongana na nyani huko ama simba, sababu huko hakuna simba, iko tu wolves na what we call bears, brown and black bears siko huko. Lakini hiyo ikipatikana ama hiyo ikionekana, there is warning. The system is that warning inatolewa all over the country ya kwamba mnyama imeonekana mahali fulani.
Wow.
So if you are watching your tele, yeah.
Are they endangered species or what wanaiua?
No, unajua hizo sikitoka kwa msitu, it means that wametoka sababu ya njaa ama something else. So at least some of them wanaweza kuwa na kifaranga ama mnaita puppies. So wakiwa na puppies, they are very dangerous. Yeah, and then wolves wanang'ang'ana na mbuzi ama kondoo na small njao. Sababu kumelengikere tuka iskele ile no gerje tuka bi.
Tunata.
Mi tuka sang. Amusa maeme.
Tunata.
Yeah, so the situation go a little bit different compared to nyumbani. And then the temperatures can go like tumekuwa na storms leo. Na the temperature has been mpaka hapo 30 degrees, 35 maximum. Ikifika 30 warning inatolewa the whole country.
That is average.
Yeah. Kila mtu akae ndani.
Wow.
And then in the winter inakuanga kisa. It's the opposite of summer. Winter inaanza November inaanza kuwa na hiyo manyu, yani hiyo unasema inaanza kuwa baridi. December is the darkest month. And when I mean darkest month, unaona light inaweza kuwa tu iko mawingu. Lakini you don't see the sun. So unaona it's light, yes, lakini it's gray. So ukiamuka saa 3, kama wewe ni mtu ambaye unapenda kulala, ukiamuka saa 3 unaamuka kwa kisa. Jua haijatokezea. Around saa 4 jua inasatokezea, kama hakuna clouds unaweza ona. And then by saa 9 imepotea. So street lights are operational kutoka saa 9 ama saa 8. Wanaweka lights everywhere again. Watu watembee, unakuta bwana saa 11 ni total darkness, yani na nende mamisiti moga la taishe kila dose. Kumegere gis.
Wow.
Yani go imen kukaa, yani men kabisa ile unaona kwamba this is ni kisa kweli. Lakini because of the lights unakuta watu wanatembea. Watu wanakaa nje mpaka saa 4 ya usiku. Hata kama ni winter. And then unajua all those trails ora tumwek cha bukuno atak pos clinic cha bukuno tengtim to yae mazoezi. Indoor lights.
Oh wow.
Because kuna watu wenye wanataka wa exercise mpaka hata usiku.
Then you guys, how is the GDP? How is the economic thing in this country?
No, the economic sio mbaya. Its growth has been a little bit slow, under 1% growth per GDP. Lakini in terms of they're in their billions, because it's a developed country, wanategemea exports. Like timber zinatoka hapa, forests yani you can't count the number of hectares inatokezea. And then technology has gone so far ahead hapa mpaka it's a service industry. Like kama vile nilikwambia 74% of the working population are employed in the service industry na administration. That's hiyo ni kazi yao. Those are the people that brings in the money. They are always wanna develop, they come up with ideas on how to make work easier. Innovations inatokezea left and right. And they always develop them mpaka iendelee. If you remember the case ya Nokia was a big catastrophe for them, lakini mwishowe they recovered. Waliona kwamba okay, they made mistakes from that. Lakini
so
Nokia
was from them?
Yeah, Nokia was actually original from here.
Okay.
Yeah, in fact, 140 kilometers from here is a small town called Nokia. And that was where it started. Now Nokia started as a tires. They were manufacturers of tires. Na plastics kabla hawajaenda into mambo ya simu.
Wow, that's amazing. That's something I just picked up today. And what else is being manufactured there that we use in Kenya?
Mostly the small things too. Sababu, when you look at the exports between, because I try to work with them to see, I mean, what goes into Kenya and what comes out of Kenya.
Yes.
Most of them the technology sana zinakuja tu Kenya.
And
then what is coming, and then yeah.
Nyinyi mnakunywa chai or you got your own tea there?
Tuko tunakunywa chai. In fact, they are importing chai kutoka Kenya na coffee, but they still wanakuja wana plant. Wakiplant sasa, you know, the origin haionekani tena.
Ni kama ya hapa.
Inaisha. So we have tuko na chai, tunakunywa chai ya Kericho. Yes. Lakini, you know, it's a different Lipton.
Ndio hiyo tuko na hiyo Lipton hapa. So the Lipton is actually a product of Kericho tea or something, but
exactly it is. Hata you can trace it mpaka huko. Yeah, lakini ukiona hata packages wametoa India. Yeah, because there was I know a couple of times kuna tea imetokea Kenya, lakini it was not sustainable because of their prices and the quality. Same thing to coffee. In fact, tuko na brand ya Wilson, they call it Wilson Coffee. And that was 100% Arabica coffee kutoka Kenya. Ilikuwa kutoka Kipelio, nyingine ilikuwa inatoka hapo Central. Lakini saa hii they change the ownership of that company. Saa hii ni plant. They don't tell you exactly kama hii ni 100% kutoka Kenya ama ni wapi. Yeah. So those are the few things when you import. Even flowers, I think hapa flowers inaenda Netherlands kabla hatujapata hapa.
Wow.
Yeah, there's no direct export kutoka Kenya zinakuja huko. So we can have a little bit of curious kidogo, lakini it's not a sustainable business hapa. Hiyo mambo ya chai tunapata hapa kidogo na hiyo coffee. And then hiyo wanariadha wenye wanakuja 1 2 3
wanakimbia.
Yeah, lakini ukiona kwa what is coming into Kenya, technology ni mingi, mambo ya medical zinakuja mingi, mambo ya industry processing zinakuja mingi. Kama kampuni ya kutengeneza maziwa, hii mambo ya pasteurization na packaging. I know one company hapa wako na projects huko Kinangop, wako na hayo somewhere naitwa nini huko pande wa Kitui. And now walikuwa wakuje Nanti County, lakini I don't know something happen hapo.
Forget about it.
Yeah. So wako na, so when you look at there's so many opportunities ya yani unajua sisi huko Kenya nimeona kwamba hatuna what we have no local industry inaweza compete na what comes from outside. We have no capacity ya compete na hawa.
Unfortunately, we don't have something called the bargaining power. You know, when you have a
bargaining power,
then it would have been
because
better.
when you see when you look at it, $20 million are coming out of Kenya, imports yenye inakuja Kenya, lakini 200 million products worth 200 million inatoka Finland kuingia Kenya.
Kuja Kenya, yeah.
You see, so it's actually balance of payment is so, you know, is skewed. Yani sisi tumefinywa, yani tumefinywa sana.
And Kenya to be, and before we continue to the next one, is that Kenya, we have the cheapest ever labor market. You know, quite a number of things here in Australia, the most expensive part is the labor. You know, assembled car is more cheaper, but because of the cost of assembling, the car goes into millions of dollars or thousands of dollars. But in Kenya, we would have the cheapest ever products because we have the cheapest labor market. But unfortunately, it is what it is. Tell us about the tractors as we come to conclusion. I see we got about 10 minutes as we finalize. I want to just remind those who are following, we have Frank from Finland. He's taking us through what are the availabilities and what are the opportunities in Finland. And of course, remember, this is a podcast courtesy of Lanson Foundation and Tiret Resort in Kapsaret. Uasin Gishu County. How cheap are the tractors, and what is the viability?
No, they are actually viable. We can say they are actually cheap, but then where we have the problem was shipping. Because shipping from up here in the north all the way to Mombasa takes a lot of time. Ukitoa tractor UK to Mombasa, you can unaweza toa na $1,000, $1,500 depending on the size na combination mingi. Lakini kutoa hapa, you have kutoa tractor from here as a containerized. Hakuna roro at all. And then kutoka from the farm gate price mpaka uingize kwa container, then you have to also pay for that local transportation, and that also raises the price. So you can get a very good Massey Ferguson, let's say $4,000 working condition, farm condition, and it's situated kwa kilomita kama 500 ama 200 from where you are. So you have to organize for the transport. Your companies who deal with it watakuletea. So you have to pay another 400 euros or another 300 euros to get that machine to where you are, and then loading it into the shipping. Ukicombine hiyo unakuta container 40 feet unasaweka tractor 3 at 4,000 euros. I mean $4,000. So ukikuja kufactor in handling ya Mombasa na how it goes, unakuta kwamba tractor moja yenye ulikuwa unanunua na 4,000 ime accrue costs, na utakuja shika na tractor na 650,000 700,000 Kenya shillings.
Ikishafika Mombasa,
fika Mombasa mpaka upate kwa mkono, tuseme mpaka upate Eldoret
ni
650 on the lowest.
But still it's a deal. If it's 650 and it's a 275, you need 275 or 175?
No, ni 165. You can't get a 275 here.
165.
Wacha nikwambie, what you can get in Finland ni 165 na hiyo MF hiyo ndogo hizo
240 ama
175, 240 ukipata unakuta is around 8,000 euros bwana.
It's iko kama hapa. They are quite expensive. Yeah,
it's very expensive. Sababu hiyo ni toy ya wakulima wakubwa. And then ukipata Massey 390. 390, there's nothing less than 10,000 euros, which is 1.2 million Kenya shillings. For 390 4 wheels. Yeah.
Ikishafika Kenya, plus of course we don't have duty, but we have those port clearance and stuff.
Yeah, kutoka July tarehe 1 tutakuwa na hiyo 16% tax VAT.
Kwa tractor.
So now I don't know how it's gonna work, because
it's not fair for
farmers. Unajua, it's about the wakulima wafinye MPs wafinye serikali wapatishe the laws, lakini unajua in Kenya it doesn't work that way. So hiyo mambo ya cheap tractors haitakuwa anymore that cheap unless you are investing in a new tractor.
Kuna moja hapa nimenunua ina
No, yeah, look at the circular. It's 16% beginning July 1st.
Then it's no point in buying a used tractor anymore.
No need of buying a used tractor unless it is cheap. Unless it is really cheap. When you hata ukiongeza hiyo, you are still able to manage to have that tractor at 700,000 Kenya shillings kama imefika nyumbani.
Yeah.
Sahi on the used market, getting anything below 800,000 or 850 sahi on the used market ni a huge bargain. Yeah.
Wow. As an athlete, you've been a runner, and of course, we know next month is the Olympics. What is your thought? And of course, we had the Kenyan Olympic trials, and quite a number of countries are doing their trials. We have the corona. We know we won't be able to go there as spectators. Of course, Tokyo has said that given the situation, if everything goes well, they will be allowing about 10,000 people to go to as spectators and cheering squad in Tokyo, Japan but those are the locals. What is your thoughts, of course, in regards to the Kenyan Athletic Kenya selection? Was that fair? Was that great? Was that good? And the team that is being that was named to go represent Kenya, given we have Kipchoge as the team marathon representative, Amos, and the rest. Is that team great? Is that team that going to give us medals? And who do you think will win medals?
That's a good question. I appreciate the way they have tried to organize the trials, but like everybody else who is looking in from outside, we see that the team is not balanced in any way. Took on strengths in the marathon, which means we are looking for medals in the marathon, and then when it come down to a distance, kutoka 1500 mpaka 10,000 on the men's side, we have those legends those guys who have demonstrated before that they can run. Lakini hatuna the support network wenye wanaweza saidia hawa. On the women's side unaona the same. Somebody kama Obiri yenye ana double, who is double it. Obiri ukiona races yake yenye amekimbia ana stamina, she doesn't have the power. Kama initially ama kama before that she can take off. Uliona hiyo race yenye alikimbia, she was leading, lakini when it came to the last kilometer, everybody was passing her and she was pushing at the maximum, which means anaweza kuwa ako overtrained ama ako too light. She needs to get some weight back, she needs to get some energy back, atapata hiyo power. 1500 hatujui kama Faith ako what situation ya Faith iko, but tuna trust ya kwamba she's gonna be at the right time. Ukikuja kwa wanaume 800 unakuta kwamba ni 50-50 for those guys to make the finals, because I've never
1500 we see people complaining, should Timothy be included, and if so, why and how?
The problem with Timothy or with the Kenyan selection, agents have always had an influence. Ingawaja hatuwezi tuka-admit, there are those local guys who are representing those agents. I remember 1996 Olympic trials. Komen came in fourth. Komen went to Atlanta for the Olympics, alibaki. But then after that, he broke the world records.
Yeah, he broke the world record.
Yeah, so it's the same situation
and it still stands
Timothy.
To date.
Yeah, Timothy is in that same category. He was the best. He didn't have a good day, and he's a proven runner. Lakini because Etiang has no experience at all compared to the guy who came in that Apple. So in my opinion, they could have negotiated with Etiang and put Timothy in there. But then this is where the management now comes in. Whose athlete is Etiang, and whose athlete is Apple. Brother. So the same situation inaenda kwa kina Opiri, because ukiona the market sahi ama the Olympics sahi, tutakuwa na Sivan kutoka Netherlands.
Yeah.
Tutakuwa na Ethiopians, and those guys are ready to run.
And we got some lady, I think quite a number of Kenyans as well representing other countries, and they are quite good. Of course, quite African from other different countries as well coming in, representing the Western countries. So it's gonna be very competitive.
Yeah, the difference itakuwa kwa mental. Are the Kenyan team able to mentally, stay focused? Because like hatuna hiyo mental strength ever since. It has been our weakness ever since. Ukienda kwa race tunaweka yote, and then after hatuna hiyo tactics, because now utaona how tactics play. Unaenda rounds ya 15 unakuta ya kwamba the pace is slow. Kila mtu anaweza keep 50 seconds for the last 400. Na kama if you have no power, no speed, na strength, you are not able to make. Utakuta you will be kicking 52 lakini uko number 7. So Kenyans wamezoea pace ya juu. Na we have trained in that way ever since, ya kwamba take the base, make the base hot. Choma wale watu wengine, in the end we are hoping to win. Lakini sasa mimi nakwambia, trust me, if those guys are going to run the same way, tuko na Jeptegei can run brilliantly from any position. The same way na Sifana San, the same way with the Ethiopians. Ethiopians, they don't train like, exhaustively kama yetu. They train hard, lakini wako na a certain level ya kwamba they can still push when it comes to, decision making. When I say, hey, 100 meters I can take care of everybody. They trust themselves ya kwamba I can, win. And then training camp, training camp huko Japan, I've been there, I've spent a month in Osaka. The temperatures are very, very, it's not warm. So the body can easily, load up on the liquids. And, weight inatogesea hapo yenye ujui imetoka wapi. It's because the retention ya liquids for the body is not the same kama huko Kenya ya kwamba you can go for a walk. Huko unatoka unaenda wapi huko? Kila mahali ni lami na buildings. Na nje ni hot. So people will stay indoors, and in the process wanakataa kula because they are trying to limit their weight. Lakini they are consuming liquids. So hiyo ita accumulate, na hiyo taking care of that is not easy. And then issue ingine ni training. The Kenyan team should train around 90% sahi, 10% less. Hakuna haja ya kutrain so hard anymore. Patia mwili recover that break ya kwamba okay, hii unaweza survive nayo, because the biggest of the workout, all the homework imefanyika. Wakati ulikuwa unakimbia long runs na hiyo all those hill walks na all that has been done. You don't need those. Sahi you need to focus on training less but sharpening peke yake. Hakuna mambo ya kwenda tempo runs. No. Hakuna mambo ya kwenda like, hey, we need this kind of like speed work iwe hard. If kama ulikuwa unafanya speed work, tuseme 400 ama 1k in 240 easy, ama 235 for those guys who are running there, then you don't have to do it. You can even do it in 245. Because the idea is to go through the motions and allow the tired legs to recover and build up the energy and power so that utakuja tumia vizuri kwa races. Sababu unajua hiyo ni rounds, sio ati ni one race. You have to run the hits, semis na pengine finals. Sasa getting out of the hits will be a challenge for many of our runners.
We have 100 meters men. Do you reckon we will make to the semi-finals? Talking of
not at all.
Hits. Yeah. We
not
had
at all,
one
because of
a guy run under altitude 10.05 or 10 point,
trials and Olympics are different things. In trials, so many factors come into play. You know the opposition, the timing, everything else. You know that this is that. Lakini you are meeting the top of the in every country. Si ati unaenda huko kukutana na mtu ambaye amekimbia 10.5, unaenda kukutana na mtu ambaye amekimbia 9.5 ama 9.8 huko. And then another issue ni altitude. It's easier for a sprinter to get a good time in altitude. That's why nakwambia 800 nakuja nyuma, we may not stand a chance ya to make out of the rounds. Ferguson ako na experience, lakini amechoka bwana. He has no speed. Ana hiyo strength ya kupush anymore. Utaona Ferguson can make to the final, but Saruni, he has been in the US. Mtu ya Iran na Emmanuel. Emmanuel has been much better than Saruni, but he has never made to the finals. I don't know where
he did drop what happened. Like he is doing 400 and 500 and 200, 800. Should he have
800? Yeah, but it makes no sense. Because our issue hatuna quality anymore, tumeenda kwa quantity. Na hiyo ndio, and actually that is what I came to realize in the cooler market Europe. When we had so many runners from Kenya, it diluted the market, and it pushed the local runners off the market. So na hiyo na wakati hao walitoka off the market, price money ilienda na hawa. So we ended up with nothing. So it's the same situation sahi. They should just look at where do you have the best chance to medal. not about individualism. No, in a Grand Prix, you can run 2 races. Some would say, I can run this and that because you are looking for the economic interest is personal. This is about the country. This is about championships organized for the countries. This is Olympics. It's a different thing. So you go in there maximizing your chances and your potential, at the same time looking at the economic windfall that comes after the Olympics. So what's the point of running 2 races and then you might end up not getting anywhere and your economic value is not coming up? You better run 1 race and say, I was semi-finalist, I was a finalist.
Absolutely.
So at least a manager, I'm a race organizer, and I say, weke 1,000 juu, ama weke 5,000 appearance, because he's a finalist. Lakini tukienda huko and then we are, una drop out of the hits, then they don't, they see you as a 1 race, not a workhorse, a race horse. When a race horse is a race that wins races, but a workhorse is a horse that works, analima, anafanya hii kazi yote, anything that comes in, asla yote. Yeah, otherwise I think it should be, if you look at the Tokyo, Seoul, 1988, that was where, the new generation came into being. So hopefully we'll have something extraordinary from these guys. But
we hope so.
Like I said, the coaches should, when you have an individual coach and you have a national coach, you have to think, are those, guys working together, or the individual coach is going to monitor his athlete and say, hey, when you go for the general workouts, this is how you need to run. And then you have to do your own workouts behind the scenes. Because conflicts comes in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't know how they will, from my experience with the Americans and the Finnish, I noticed that personal coaches end up messing up the athlete. Because he's going to control, like, hey, what are you going to do? How are you going to race? And then the national coach on the other side is like, hey, this is the race tactics. So you are getting 2 advices from 2 different sources, and who are you going to listen to?
Yeah, personal or whatever.
So that's why I'm going to say, every team, every group in your qualify, are they from the same management? Ukiona marathon guys, are they all those marathon guys from the same management? When I talk about global, is it global sports?
I think they're different.
And then come to the 10,000.
Actually, give us a quick review on the 10,000 as we finalize on if there, and then I'll give you a chance to to give us a closing remarks and a quick one from your end, and of course tell us if there are agents or how should people who want to come to Finland, what is the application process and what they need to come when they are coming there. So 10,000, Mo Farah, what is the chance of him coming back and then of course qualifying for the Olympics? And of course we have Kamoror and the young guys. Is this the best time for Kenya to win a medal in the 10,000 meters men? Tanui tried and he never made it. So is this the best chance for us now?
If we work as a team, the thing is that we have to look at the markets, the 10,000, and see how many runners can run at a world record pace. Kamoror is capable of winning. Cheptegei is capable of winning. Mo Farah, if it is a tactical race, he has a chance, but I don't think he's coming back. So those 2 runners, forget about the Norwegian young guy. He knows he's going to run the 5,000 or 1,500. He's not going to run the 10,000. And then we have the Ethiopians.
Or something like
so, yeah, if you look at the arrangements of the Ethiopians, there are guys who are known with a few unknowns. So if the base is hot from the word go, then Kamoror has a chance at a bronze. Cheptegei has a possibility of winning, or the Ethiopian has a possibility of winning, because it will come down to the last 100 meters. No, forget about the last 400 meters, the last 100 meters. But if Quemoy is able to take Kamoror from the word go, just the way Ronex was running. That's why I was surprised that they should have put Ronex in there for the base work, because Ronex can put in the base. He can carry from anywhere. It doesn't have the same speed or finishing speed like Kamoror, but he is able to tow. He's able to push and and pull all those guys into the comfort zone, which is a fast pace. But he's not in the game. So I don't think that the guy who came in that is able to do that. El Garouch was able to survive because he had an official pacemaker. In the championships, Atil coach was able to run to the finals. His work was, hey, you have to make to the finals. It doesn't matter what you do. Because in the finals, he was going to take El Garouch away from the danger zone, from Noangen, from Benat Lagat, from Medibala and the rest of the guys. So the same way, we need somebody who can pull Kamorora away from these guys. But not Quemoy and not what is the last guy. So that Ronex should have come in there for that purpose, for allow Kenya to improve from Tergat's silver. It's logic. You don't have to think like, hey, what is this? No. The 5,000 is the same situation. Kimeli is not gonna make to the finals. Because Kimeli, I don't know what he's thinking when he runs. Yeah, it's a big risk. We may not have a finalist from Kenya kwa hiyo 5,000 finals. Yeah, 1,500 is 50-50.
So where is the chance? Marathon and of course maybe 1,500 women.
1,500 women, like I said, Sivan. Right. That Asan and the Ethiopians are the biggest threat right now, because they can run from anywhere. They can run from the back. They can run from the front. So what Kipyego can do is that she has to be patient. She has to be patient. Unless somebody is going to take the 10,000, if Asan is going to run the 10,000 and break it down and make her work for that medal in the 10,000. Then she's gonna have, be wondering if she's able to make the 1,500 hot enough. Because you saw the last race how she did it. She took control of the race. She had Faith hanging on her shoulder, but Faith had no speed. Nothing. She didn't have the same power like she used to have. She started pushing from the 200. Faith had no response. She was just at the maximum already, hanging in. And she didn't have that focusedness like or that I don't know, that touch like before. And I saw when she ran the 800 meters, I realized that Faith is is pushing so hard. But it could also be that she's coming into shape.
Wow.
But she's not the same Faith as from the Rio. I hope everything is good, because always there's this chance or this idea that when you change from your normal coach into a new coach, something is always lost.
Yeah,
something is always lost in there, and I feel that Faith lost something there in that transition. The transition is not giving the spark. Yeah, and then with Obiria, I told you Obiria has no power. She has the endurance, she has the strength, but no power. And you need power in the in the 10,000 or the 5,000. She needs power to push. She has lost so much weight as well. And
so she needs to put a few kilos in for the power to come back.
Yeah, exactly. She needs to put in the kilos to get the power back and reduce the training and build on the speed, build on the power. And then ukikuja kwa 800 akina Eunice, I'm still weighing like, are we having finalists in there?
They might make to the semis, maybe.
Semis might be there. the US are coming with a new lady. There's a 19-year-old American who is Sudanese origin. She's flying around. I think you have seen her.
I've seen her. I can't remember her name.
Something
Testing
like
or something.
a ting mu or a tung mu.
Yeah.
No. So 800 is becoming hot because there are coming new runners. And Eunice has been around. So she can use her tactics and her experience to make to the finals. 5,000 is the same risk. When you see a woman running 14:06, 14:0, I mean for the 5,000, the way the Ethiopians are running, those guys are ready.
Crazy.
29:01, I mean for the 10,000 meters, those guys are ready. So how are you going to double with somebody who can run that fast? We are not going to see the same situation like Ayana. You remember Ayana from the Rio?
Yeah.
When she took off, because she didn't recover from that double. She has never recovered. She has injuries left and right. To this date, she has never recovered from that. So, of course, when you look at Obiri and think about it, and you feel like, hey, she has been around. So her career is at the top. So she can say, I'm a champion. But the table has changed. The situation has changed. It's not the same as Rio. Now we have the shoes, and everybody has those shoes. It's not only a selected few. Everybody has the shoes, and they are flying around. Even for me, I'm thinking of getting the shoes as well.
I know.
Because I realized that, hey, people are running with these shoes. Why not try them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So let's hope for the best, and let's hope that the coaches will make decisions that reflect the true nature of the sport. Look at the situation in real life, not because of being compromised. Because now the situation with the Kenyan team, there's always somebody is being compromised. Because Timothy could be left out because of Manango's situation. They come from the same coach.
Yeah.
But those are unfortunate decisions or unfortunate situations. We have had those doping issues everywhere. That's another thing that I would like to leave to the Kenyan AK and those people in charge. Are they really supporting those Kenyan runners? Because I believe, for example, if you look at the doping situation, what happened in Kenya, and look at 36%, almost 40% of our athletes tested positive for nandrolone. Just nandrolone. Where do they, what is the connection there? And then, the testing lab in Montreal, the leader of that testing lab also was compromised, because an American was able to show that, she made a false testing report. And, I feel like this, it might mean that most of the Kenyans are set up, because in the last 6 months, we have never had anybody testing positive.
And of course, we had someone the other day said to have been fixing a few other things, reporting and all sorts of things in Kenya, saying that he was among the people who have been doping in athletes. I don't know how far that went anyway, and we haven't seen anyone or heard anything about doping anyway in the last 6 months. What might have been the case?
That is what have changed. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. That's why I feel like, this was a way of cleaning, because they were focusing on the Kenyans and left the rest of the world was moving on. And then in the process, I feel like, this was they were just pushed to the wall. Because, if you are an athlete, I know we have those suspicious issues. We have, sometimes we doubt our abilities. Sometimes you are like, hey, am I training right? And the consequences of doping. You can't escape. You can escape, but you can't escape for a long time. So I felt from the word go that this is this is compromise. It looks like something, they are just pushing. They want to get rid of the glut. They get rid of the Kenyans. Open the market. Open the market a little bit. Take one off here, there and there. And Kenya being a that world country, nobody's gonna fight for those guys. When Aspel says, I'm not going to fight against the doping, people were like shocked because they were like, hey, if Aspel is giving up on working for his case, what is actually going on? And he has insisted that he didn't do it. So people wanted him to push and subpoena for those information, get the information the same way the American guy got concerning his case, and get that party to analyze. In that way, you can put your case to rest. Like, hey, this is it. So I mean, we suffer from the oversupply of athletes in the international market. That's why we have Americans almost being a Kenyan team. We have in Turkey. Now we have as far as Azerbaijan, somewhere in Asia. We have guys in Hong Kong, North Korea. I mean, Seoul, South Korea. Soon we're going to have guys in the former Eastern Bloc. Romania. We're going to Ukraine. We're going to have Kenyan runners being there.
Wow.
So, we have, we are globalizing. I mean, we are everywhere.
I think I should invite you next time before, and I will look for these AK officials before the Olympics. We have a quick chat on the prospects and the way forward, and of course, what is their opinion on the team that will be ready by then. We saw many people talking about Conseslus. We'll come and touch about that, and many others. We haven't seen Rhodesia. Is the reigning Olympic champion. Is he gonna be in the team? Is he no longer training? Such and many, we will be having a discussion, and of course, I will welcome you to come on board. Before giving us your closing remarks in the field of coming to Finland, and of course, on a general basis for the youths out there, the corona hit, everything hits, everyone is wanting to go out of the country. For those who don't want to go, what is your word to them? What is the process of coming to Finland? Are there agents that that are in Kenya or Nairobi, Eldoret, that you can refer people? And of course, I can see my friend Osea Kibrona saying, following from South Australia, Kasi Poa Sana AKL Karibuni Men's Conference. South Australia, kwa wale watu ambao wanatufuata South Australia, wako na Men Conference hii Saturday, ambao wako na wanaume wote kutoka hapa Australia. Sisi wote tunaenda kule South Australia ili tuweze kufanya Men Conference. Wako na mgeni mkubwa ambaye amekaribishwa, ambaye pia ni Pastor Joel Kimeta, pamoja na wageni wengine watakuwa wanahudhuria ili waweze kusherekea hiyo Men Conference. Douglas Toweta anasema following live from Lelmokwa, Nandi County. Sami Kipchirchir anasema watching live from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Augustine Kipkorir anasema is it possible to give views on operational solution with I think hawa wanagongana huko kwa serikali ya comment huko chini. Linet Lagat anasema following, asante sana. Kwa HIV anasema tuned in, asante sana. Daniel College anasema watching live. Mtu mwenye anataka tractor tafuta mtu anaitwa Franco. Utatuambia pia unapatikana wapi. Naona watu wameanza kuulizia tractor. Commission itakuja AKL, tujenge Lanson Foundation. So mtu utatuambia pia unapatikana wapi pale, ili uweze pia kupata na watu wale wanatafuta tractor. People, we've already given out the 500 credit courtesy of AKL. Tumepatia mtu anaitwa Jerry Otieno. Nakuja kwa comment Jerry, kama umepata utuambia kama umepata. Yeye Kenya Ken, umekuwa kwa draw, ulikuwa hapa, lakini I'll give out the last one quickly because I see quite a number of people are asking. 100 shillings credit. Ushapeana 500. Hii kikwa bahati yako ni sawa, bahati ya mwenzio. 100 bob kwa wale ambao wamefika tu sasa. Tushapata winner alikuwa Jerry Otieno, na yeye mwenyewe ashapata bahati. Nasrait Kosgei, tuambie kama wewe ni huyo, ujipatie shilingi yako 100 credit courtesy of AKL, but 500 tushapana. Frank, quick one.
Yes.
Quick review, quick closing remark, and of course, how should people take up to come in?
Actually, for people coming in, it's actually a straightforward process. Yeah, you don't need an agent. What you need to do is that you need information on where schools are situated or what the list of schools are valuable. And that's a public domain. That's in public domain. What I can do is, through your, I can send you the link or my email link, and then you can disseminate the information. They can send me their requirement or their request, and I'm just going to link them directly to where they need to go. It's not about an agent. It's not about assistants. No, because the system here, like I told you, is you see where you want to study. You're going to see the opportunities. It's you and your computer and your determination to go out and study.
Shida ya Mkenya utaambia ndio hii scholarship ama ndio hii laini atakwambia unifanyie.
That is where people fail in the beginning. Usipatie mtu hii kazi ambayo ni rahisi sana. But we I think we can help people through AKHL. And I'll send the links to AKHL, and then from there, they're gonna get commission to AKHL for that foundation, rather than because the people need information. So I'm gonna make AKHL the agent, and I'll put all the information in there, and they can pick it from there.
Bas mimi na share tu.
Kazi yako tu ni kazi yako tu ni put in the details, and that person leaves you anaenda na unawachiwa commission hapo. Then in that way nobody is going to say I went to this agent and I got lost, or somebody was telling me that he's an agent, because I've been asked the same question. Recommend agents that make people, in Finland the system is so complicated in that if people are coming in, they look at it, the more people coming in from one source, they're going to look at it as a human trafficking. So when they come in through a foundation, and then they trusted that, because the officials, the government is so keen, because it's a small country, everything is digitalized. So nothing escapes the eyes of the government. They see all of, like, where is everybody? They know where am I at any given time. So like that's why they call this is the happiest country, because they trusted the government. They trusted the systems are working, for them. Hapa bwana, public transport, you don't have to wait for a bus. The bus is not waiting for you. Kila kitu inaenda kwa time. You can go to work. You are not even going to lose 1 minute. Everything is made in such a way that kila kitu is seamless. People from the train, as they get out of the train, they get into the buses, into the trams, into their offices. Kila kitu is smooth. You can see, and kila kitu you don't need any assistance kufanya. So I believe that with AKHL, we should be able to help us so many people.
Last word to those who are following.
Karibu tena. We'll look for another time to expound on some of the issues that I touched today, and we'll work together. Stay tuned.
Wow.
And subscribe to AKHL as you have been told.
Asante sana.
Asante sana.
Jina yako kwa Facebook kwa wale watu wanajaribu kukufuata.
Kita agenge diko utie bwana, kama sa utie ka ngalaje ja. Iya amaja ka ti tukul bwana je baje marot. Ti tukul ne ta ingeno ako ne ta ngeri. Nga ka ten bita na bago kwet. Tukul ne ta ingeno ako ta ngeri diko Franco. Jamge missing.
Ingot Maxome ngora mosoriot.
Maxome economic advisor Maxome, I'll be there. According to the blueprint on how to get the governorship to Banande.
Bata kiguranga nani nempa jamarot bujar jamarot kena naitwaje.
Oh, jamarot bujarin Arab ke yo.
Naona wanafanyanga kazi mzuri kabisa.
Hilary
Kitur.
Yeah, anafanya kazi mzuri.
Yeah.
Ametusaidia a lot. That guy
he keeps us updated every morning.
I go and check what is
happening.
Yeah. Of course, as again is a little bit sensitive, like you know, I'm used to it. Yeah. We pick up che muso jeta ko gena ji ne kyanet jingon chini kya ko jen wakati ni kami ni gon ale ni chamke missing ta mi kora. Ta tiaru.
Unota.
Yes.
So kongoi missing ko nego subeching betu tabrani kongoi missing kongete studio na tabra AKL kagenyoru to noton kakomwaiwech missing kotinygei ak boisionik ak ng'alekab somanet eng olin bo emetab Finland. Kakomwaiwech kora missing kotinygei ak boisionik ak ng'alek chotok chebo bandab tai eng emet noto nebo Finland. Abwatun kityo alechin eng emetab Australia eng betutab rani kole Western Australia ko kakomuch koisto kakwautik chotok chekocham tokomitei emetab Western Australia akokochi biik koyai boisionik chotok cheu kou atkinye kotomo koit coronavirus. Eng olito komakomi kiy nekele social distancing kong'ete betutab rani ako saenyo kokotebi kunotok, lakini kemuch kora kotestai emetab Western Australia koker biik chotok chebunu olimbo Sydney ak emotinwek alak koit olep Western Australia kobit notok koit ng'alekab corona eng emet notok nebo Sydney. Ketesetai kemwoiwo kityo kele kichamegei eng olep Australia ako makitindoi ng'al kong'ete studio nebo AKL kelechino kongoi missing ako kongoi missing tonyo ikat biik tugul kikase kele mi lagok ikat icheket eng olo ak kelechi kichamegei ak ichek. Kongoi missing tonyo kiamne nemakituch. Sere.